and welcome to Tome of Uselessness. I'm Devon.
I'm Dan.
And today we have a very, very special episode that I've been very excited about on my favorite topic in the whole world, Alex Garland.
Yeah. This I will, full disclosure, I've stolen this idea from other shows, have done this kind of thing. But what I've done is I've collected letterbox reviews for Alex Garland movies. The ones he's directed, the ones he's written, and we're going to just talk about some of them because some of them made me laugh. Because I usually don't check reviews, but I was just like curious. And then I just started laughing and I was like, I need to tell Devon about this.
I love reading reviews because some people are just so unhinged.
Yeah, that's what I've learned.
And also, like, sometimes I'm like, wow, this is such a well-crafted movie. I don't understand how anyone would not enjoy this. Like, Everything Everywhere All at Once, for example. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how could anybody watch this and not think that it was just peak cinema? Yeah. And then you read reviews.
This could be a good idea because we've talked about doing like a retrospective on his film, visiting his films again. So I was like, oh, this could be a good companion if we do that in the future because we could talk about some of them here and just some reviews here that I've collected.
I still want to do an all Garland month.
Yeah.
we only talk about Alex Garland movies.
Sure.
And we do a 6-part series on men.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'll just start here. 28 Days Later, he wrote it. And
great movie.
I got 2 reviews here that I thought were kind of good here. So the first one was, why was this filmed with a pink Motorola Razr?
What?
That was a 4-star review. And the next one, IMDb said that Cillian Murphy spends 30% of this movie shirtless or naked, also known as my favorite movie genre.
I like whoever wrote that. I thought the movie looked beautiful.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm thinking back after reading that it is a smaller aspect ratio, grainy, of course, but probably on purpose because it was probably shot on film. So,
you know, the only thing that I really had negative to say about 28 Days Later is that it seemed like they had a Pepsi sponsorship because there's a lot of like Pepsi specific product placement in it.
Or maybe Pepsi's more, popular in Britain because it's sweeter.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's just like every pop machine was a Pepsi machine, and it seemed like they just always had cans of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then moving on to Sunshine here, I got a couple here. So Alex Garland wrote it, also directed by Boyle here. It's a good one. And so, first review. Even with his shitty 2000s emo hair, I am still Cillian Murphy's bitch. Coincidentally, written by the same person who wrote the last review.
That's fair.
That's 4-star review.
Cillian Murphy's a babe.
Yeah. And the last one here is similar themed. Watched for Cillian Murphy, to be honest. I really did not care for the first 3/4 of the movie. It was typical space stuff. Ships messed up, crew members die, etc. I really did appreciate the end, though, and the almost thriller vibe it had going on. The visuals were what really got me, and I sure was into them by then. A good one from Boyle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is weird because, like we were just joking, this is 2.5 stars. So I guess the first bit lowered it down too much until they got into it.
Best movie ever, 1 star.
Well, so they said a good one, so Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I've watched Sunshine a few times, and it is good, and I think you can tell it's again made by people who know what they're doing because it's well paced, quality setups and payoffs and visuals. Yeah, it's worth the watch. So yeah, those were the 2 that he wrote. 28 Days Later apparently has an average 3.7 star rating. Sunshine 3.6, so pretty high. People are into it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Did you?
And then now we get to
his beach.
No, I skipped that one.
Oh, that's fair. Because he wrote the novel, but I don't think he wrote the screenplay, did he?
I don't think so either. I was unsure, sorry. So I skipped it. Because I think we'll be talking about these other ones anyway. Because now we're on to Ex Machina here.
Ooh, excellent film.
Yeah, one of your faves. Has an average...
It's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Nice. Yeah, I'd probably put it in there. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I prefer Annihilation, but
I know, yeah. I just prefer Ex Machina. I don't know what it was. I found that movie like absolutely hypnotizing. Like I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. And as you know, I like to do 20,000 things at the same time. So it's rare for me to be like that captivated by a movie.
yeah. Yeah, here we go. First review here. So here, this is a movie about the ways that men treat women. The obvious misogynist considers women as a tool for him to control and fuck at his leisure. The nice guy wants to be a friend and liberator to women, but that interest comes and goes proportional to how much he wants to have sex with them. No matter how similar in intellect and skill we prove ourselves to be, they believe it is up to them to determine our worth, our freedom, even our personhood. Fuck them, rock on, Ava.
I agree.
5 stars.
Awesome. So I think that Alex Garland would be a really good director for adapting early Ira Levin novels. I think I've said this before in the podcast too, because they're both men who seem to understand that misogyny exists and they can portray it in a way that's like not too threatening to other men.
Well, you say that now, but we'll continue on.
Oh no! Oh
no! But yeah, next one here. So yeah, that was 5-star rating. We got this one here. Ava Girl Boss is a little too hard at the end, but I respect it. 100.
Okay.
So 3.5 stars there. This one, pretty good. Cool House. 4 stars.
It is a cool house. I want to know how you watch that movie and the only takeaway that you have is that it's a cool house.
Well, the entire thing mostly takes place in that house, so.
Yeah, okay.
And then this one here, viewing number 2 was interesting. I feel like you watched the first time as Caleb and the second time as Nathan. And so, yeah, I assume Caleb was Donald Gleason's character, right? So,
yeah, I think so.
I didn't look it up, but that's what I assumed.
Yeah. Because the second time you know what's going on the whole time, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of like see the pieces that Oscar Isaac is putting together. High average on Ex Machina there.
That's fair. It's a great movie.
Yeah, 4.0 average. So people are into it.
This scene where, sorry, you just said his name, the little redhead skinny guy.
Donald Gleason there.
Yeah, the scene where he's like cutting himself to see if he's also a robot.
Yeah.
Was just like so impactful when you're watching it the first time.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite kind of things. I know it's been done in so many things, but it's still, I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. It was handled really well. Like, yeah.
Because we even saw that around the same period. Well, maybe not around the same, but it was in Westworld season 2 as well, where Ed Harris like digs into his arm to find out if he's a robot or not.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because then, depending on what timeline you're talking about, he is a robot.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was kind of what I pulled out for an Ex Machina. So his first effort, people are digging it.
Yeah, fair. It's a great movie.
Mm-hmm. And then we're on to Annihilation. There's a dip. Average 3.6.
Oh no!
I like this first one. Oh, sorry.
In all fairness, Annihilation is a little harder to access than Ex Machina.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of like metaphor going on. I think actually Folding Ideas, Dan Olson, the YouTuber, did a video on it, and he made a really good point of like the movie is more about the themes and the metaphor than it is about the actual story. So if you're just watching it and taking everything at face value, and you think it's just about like aliens, then you miss a lot of the nuance, I guess. But let's have it. Give it to me.
Well, and I was gonna kind of agree with you in that Annihilation has more like visual things that are kind of like visually hidden from you that like if you'd have to see it to like pick it up kind of thing. Like, for example, everyone's tattoo, how they all get it and stuff like that. Like, it's not spelled out. It's never shown on screen. No one ever says like, hey, you have my tattoo, right? Like, it just happens. So.
Yeah, I feel like Annihilation really benefits from like multiple watching.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first one here is pretty simple. This is what it feels like to chew 5 gum, but in hell.
I don't understand that review.
Well, remember all those commercials for 5 gum? They always tried to be like when you chewed it, you were like transported to somewhere cool, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So did they like it then?
5 stars.
Nice.
Yeah. The last 15 minutes of this movie are scarier than anything I have ever seen in my entire life. 4.5 stars.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, people up here digging it here. I like this one. My only criticism about the ending is that the Shimmer is a lesbian icon who did nothing wrong but still gets destroyed. Ugh. Hollywood sure loves to bury their gays.
Like Natalie Portman Shimmer?
They're just referencing the Shimmer itself.
The Shimmer was a lesbian?
Well, some people read a little deep into stuff sometimes.
I mean, I try to read everything as queer in one way or another, but I missed that.
Fair enough. Had me trying to figure everything out until the end. I am still confused, but really enjoyed it. Natalie Portman did great. The actors in the movie show so much emotion, and you know so much about them with little words. And I thought that was very impressive. There were some there were some goofy scenes / animation, but for about 95% of the movie, stunning videos. I assume they mean visuals. CGI held up great and looked better than even movies today. In other words, Natalie Portman has a sex scene, so instant 5 stars. But they gave it 4 stars.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even remember the sex scene with Natalie Portman.
Yeah, because she's having an affair with that guy, right? The other doctor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What animation? Do they mean the CG?
Yeah, that's right. Like that's what they're referring to. Like the bear is CG, the deer, of course, that they encounter. But
then in one part of the review they talk about the animation looking wonky, and then the next part they say that the CGI was good.
Yeah, the CGI held up great.
But what was the wonky animation?
Who knows? Well, they said 95% was good, so there's 5% that they didn't that they felt was wonky. That was from recent too. That was from literally today, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa, indeed. I didn't realize the date on that. Here we go. Most batshit wild-ass clusterfuck LSD trip of a movie. This is what Noah sells you in the back of a Cracker Barrel.
5 stars.
Only, sorry, 3.5.
Aw, bummer.
Yeah. And then the last one here I pulled for Annihilation was out-of-place dialogue and characters I don't give a fuck about. Last 45 minutes saved the film. Entire plot is pretty interesting, though. Shiny. So this review is all over the map.
Wait.
Yep.
How long is Annihilation? Is it only like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
So he like half the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't care about the characters. He didn't care about the dialogue. But 45 minutes of the movie was great, apparently, which is most of the movie.
Listen, all the elements were bad, but half of the movie was really good.
Yeah. So 3 stars, unfortunately, on that one.
Oh, it's out of 5, right?
I believe so, yeah, because that top one was 5.
So it really should have been only 2.5 stars out of 5 if you only liked half the movie.
I have to agree.
Where are these people? I'm going to track them down. Ask them follow-up questions.
Well, I mean, I guess you could find them on Letterboxd. Like, it's like a social media thing or whatever. Like, it does show their name, so it's like you can click on them and see what other movies they reviewed. So.
Well, that would be interesting. Like people that review them badly to see what they actually like.
Well, and it was, again, the first time I've ever tried to do this. Like, I was trying to find like 1-star reviews and stuff like that. But so I'd click on it and then I'd like see their icon. I'd be like, cool, and I'd click on it, but then it would take me to like their page, but not their review of the movie, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted to see. I want to see their review anyway. So I got out of there. But yeah, that's kind of what I pulled for Annihilation. Like you said, we were talking about, like, I really like that movie. Like, for me, that's like one of my top 5.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as you did, but it is a great movie.
Yeah.
It was dark, though. or my TV was dark, as we decided later.
Yes. So there was a TV show that he wrote and directed for FX, and I pulled a review for that because it was hilarious and made me laugh.
Okay.
That was for the show Devs, it was called. 3.9 average, so still pretty high here.
This Devs, just for context, that's about developers in Silicon Valley, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
This review is long. It's like a dissertation here. We can stop after a paragraph or two if you want to jump in, but...
No, I want to hear the whole fucking review.
Okay. Like I said, this is a full-on review here.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, all right. In the new FX Limited series Devs, Alex Garland takes his signature grandeur, slow horror, and juxtaposition of nature and technology to new levels by shoving it directly up his own ass. Written by written by someone who has never lived in San Francisco, nor spent a day around the Patagonia-clad tech geeks with $60 haircuts and AirPods permanently shoved into their ears, Devs imagines a San Francisco shrouded in fog, mystery, and murder. So, strong opening paragraph. Here we go.
5 stars.
Yeah. The show follows Lily Chan, you know, that girl who lived down the hall from you in the dorm freshman year. Programmer Lily Chan is Chinese American, hates wearing bras, and loves her boyfriend. After her boyfriend goes missing from work at his very big and important job, Chan is convinced something as bad has happened to him.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Because you've seen Devs, right?
Yes.
Does the character say she hates wearing bras, or is it just noticeable that her nips are out?
No, she doesn't say anything like that. I think, yeah, you can see that, but like she's not like full. What's the word term I'm looking? Headlight nipples, like I guess. Right? But you could, because she's the same woman who was in Annihilation and in Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Out there, so she's not like super well endowed. So it's whatever, right?
It's just such a weird thing to point out.
But
okay,
that's all right.
Continue.
Lily Chan is played by Japanese model, dancer, and actress Sonoya Mizuno. Garland's choice to continue using the name Lily Chan even after Mizuno's casting goes to show all aspiring actresses that it's all the same to these white men, so who cares if you're a Korean? Lily Chan isn't just like other girls. She's a Garland girl. Garland girls are gorgeous, thin, attractive. They don't care about their hair or makeup because they're too smart for that. Garland girls have spacious, warmly lit apartments and beige chairs they love to curl up in so they can think about their boyfriends and cry, just like a real woman.
Wow.
Here we go. Continuing on. Does Lily have hobbies? Of course. She loves spending time trying to figure out what happened to her boyfriend. Did Lena Annihilation have hobbies? Of course. She loves spending time trying to figure out what happened to her boyfriend. Actually, it was her husband. But did Ava in Ex Machina have hobbies? Of course. She loves spending time figuring out her boyfriend. These women are so strong. A wealthy programmer, a biologist/former soldier, a robot. I love seeing women like me on the big screen and small screen, and Devs is doing a fantastic job carrying the legacy of the all-American Garland girl.
Holy shit, she has a completely different take on Alex Garland than I do.
Yeah, we're not finished yet. A few more paragraphs.
Also, didn't Ava draw? She did have hobbies.
Yeah. Also, I liked how it's like, does she have hobbies? She's trying to work out the mystery plot. It's like, that's the plot of the show. So
yeah, that's how shows work.
Yeah. But
We're
anyway.
Gonna show her fucking cross-stitching for half an hour.
Yeah. I know there's this mystery plot going on, but I gotta stop and do some cross-stitch. The other 3 main characters are all white, which is the most accurate thing Garland guessed about life in Silicon Valley. We have a white lady who has no friends, no family, no makeup, no friendly chats with coworkers over coffee, no backstory, and no personality. We have a white man who is mean and doesn't care about killing people. Does he have a backstory? No. Do we know anything about him? No. Do we care? No. Is he at least hot? No. At the center of it all, we have Nick Offerman attempting to look as ugly as possible, whose character, brackets, they don't know their name, is obsessed with his dead daughter. He is so obsessed with that his company is named after her and is up to big, scary tech stuff just to get her back. They're willing to kill Russians, make cover-up videos, and build a giant statue of her. I don't know what's worse, the plot of the show or the giant, ugly CG statue of a little girl they show us at least 5 times per episode, as if it was something to be proud of. To make sure that you can quote this article for later use, please note that Garland also hit 3 tropes directly on the head. Math on a whiteboard that means absolutely nothing, kid geniuses, and people using technology for porn. I swear, if this show gets any more interesting, I'll have to quit my job and buy a beige chair so I can sit on it and hold my knees and cry.
Oh my God, the vitriol, I love it.
Yeah, so that was a good journey through devs. Yeah, I like we were talking about the quibble with the hobbies, because it's like, yeah, there's a mystery plot of a murder. Like she's trying to find out who murdered her boyfriend.
Yeah, like even like Law and Order, you don't know what Olivia does in her spare time. She's
and that's
a detective lady. That's her whole purpose.
Yeah, I would say that kind of show would have the time if they wanted to show you she does something.
Yeah. It's weird what people zero in on, especially with like a limited series like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, her take on Garland is much different than my take on Garland.
Yeah, and then the other white lady they're speaking of is I don't know her name. She's the drummer from Scott Pilgrim.
I like her.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff. She's pretty good. Yeah, she was in Hail Caesar as well.
Who was she in Hail Caesar?
She played Josh Brolin's wife.
Oh yeah.
She's only in like 3 scenes. She's not in it much, but she was there. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I love that movie. Movie's so good.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I thought that was a hilarious review. Had me laughing a lot.
Huh. It's so fitting that I just went on my little rant about how, like, I think he's good at recognizing misogyny.
Well, and it's funny, the part as well where they're like, oh, they have a warmly lit apartment and blah, blah, and spacious. And it's like, well, she also works at the company. She's a programmer, as this review spoke of. So, like, it's in Silicon Valley, so she probably makes a good wage. It's like she could afford an apartment, right?
Also, you need a big set to do filming on. Like, this is something I think people should just let go of.
Well, that was going to be my next point was, yes, you have to build a set so you can film on it.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, she doesn't need to be in a tiny 400 square foot apartment unless that's integral to the plot. It's fine. Let it go, people. Let go of the big apartment. It's fantasy. It's not real. We know that nobody lives like that.
Well, and the quip about Ava as well being like, she has to figure out her boyfriend. It's like, yeah, because she's trying to manipulate him to escape. Like, that's the point of the movie.
And also, she did have hobbies because she liked to draw.
Yeah, so again, an interesting, journey through a review there.
Yeah, wow, so strange. Also, like, yeah, same with Natalie Portman or Lena in Annihilation. Like, the movie needs the plot. Otherwise, you're just watching someone live their life.
Yeah, like, and again, we're not showing her hobbies because it's like, yes, the point is that she's trying to go into the shimmer and figure out what's going on. She has these flashbacks where she's painting and stuff like that, but that's not a hobby per se, right? It's like...
No, she does have a hobby. She was fucking her coworker.
Sure. Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, so that was I thought that one was fun, and then we can move on to Men, the more recent movie here.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear the reviews on Men. They better all be 5 stars ? I think about this movie every day.
We may get some of that. Lower average though, unfortunately, 2.9 from the people.
Ooh, that is low. It's so pretty, though.
Well, yeah, we'll start with something simple here. This one, this was so scary. I'm glad British people aren't real.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah. 2.5 stars. So, they dug it. This one, again, a little longer here. This will have some comments. I think that's fun. Alex Garland has made 3 movies about women in a row, and I can't help but find it weird that his entire conception of womanhood is just about being abused and traumatized. Annihilation pivots on a scene where a character lists the various traumatic histories of each of the 5 leads. In this film, Jessie Buckley Harper isn't even a character at all. Her entire persona comes through implication. The idea that we're supposed to side with her because of the sexist microaggressions she's subjected to, rather than understanding her as a person. Brackets plus an unbaked.
Holy shit.
Yeah, plus an underbaked grief and drama angle that comes packaged with this kind of art house horror now. End bracket. A discourse-ready screenplay that's so desperate to be interpreted that it doesn't even bother giving you anything to chew on in the moment. Yes, we know men are often inconsiderate and don't take women seriously. Is that really all you have to say? I'm sure it will be enough for the insufferable Twitter/TikTok/Letterboxd lib crowd who constantly share similarly hack-pop feminist garbage, but I think if you're going to posture as an intellectual artist, then you got to put some more work in. There's absolutely nothing to this movie, nothing worthwhile being said, and he doesn't even conjure a compelling image like he did in Annihilation. This is the final boss of A24-ish horror, just a collection of ideas its target audience already believes, delivered at an interminable pace full of tediously symbolic visuals. I'm so desperate for this bubble to finally burst.
Ow. Was that written by a man or a woman?
Difficult to say, but the name here...
Would you guess based off the name?
A woman.
Really?
Yeah.
It's bizarre, like, how different people can interpret things very differently.
Yeah.
It's weird that they didn't think she had a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she had a character. Am I wrong there?
No, I thought so as well.
I thought it was subtle, like it didn't hit you over the head, like, or anything, but that's such a different interpretation from what I had. Because I honestly, I still think about the movie Men every single day. And I'm at the point now where if I could speak to anybody living or dead for half an hour, I'd want to speak to Alex Garland and have him break down that movie for me.
Well, and I thought just that was a fun one because, you got some lib crowd stuff in there, how it's, A24-ish horror garbage. Yeah, 1 star.
I didn't really think that obviously 1 star.
Yeah.
I didn't think that he focused on microaggressions either. That's such a strange thing to focus on.
Well, I know that there was the couple scenes, but that was we talked about in the review we did about it, that it was it just showed it cool and then moved on to now something else.
I thought the movie did a really good job of just up until it goes bonkers. Yeah. It does a good job of just showing an interaction without specific judgment on any of the characters. Mm-hmm. It's presented very neutrally, even with the weird priest scene where he's asking her if it was her fault that her husband died and touching the bench after she walks away and stuff. Even that is presented fairly, I thought was presented fairly neutrally. They didn't put on ominous music or dramatic lighting. They didn't have any of the characters react to his actions in a negative way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They had her be a little bit uncomfortable and leave, but not in a sneery kind of way that they could have done. Yeah. No, I don't know. I disagree with that specific review.
Well, let's move on to another here.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's got, this has 3 Y's, so I have to pronounce this a little drawn out. Hey, Queen. I saw your tweet about how men are trash, and I just want to let you know that I agree. Although I am a man myself, bracket, I know. I'm on your side. One of the good ones, as some may say.
Oh, is he pretending, that reviewer trying to pretend to be Alex Garland? Is that what that is?
I would believe so, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, moving on to the next here. Here we go.
Okay. I don't. Okay, sorry. Pause.
Sure. Okay.
I don't understand how you could watch that movie and be like, "Oh, Alex Garland's just being a male pick-me and like trying to be a woke blah blah blah," because like it's presented so neutrally. Like when like her husband kills himself, that's presented pretty neutrally. Like it doesn't like make her out to be a saint or anything. They have an argument. She says things. He says things. Like it's not presented like she was this perfect partner. I never got that impression that she was like a perfect partner and he was like an asshole the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I don't know if this is too woke or whatever for people. I don't know what would be an adequate way to explore this theme, because anything would be too woke.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, next review.
Yeah. Next one here. Oh boy, this was fucking exhausting. Okay, but here's the thing. The beginning was so pretty and spooky and nerve-wracking, but then it went on to be heavy-handed, missing the point piece of do-nothing garbo I've ever witnessed.
What? What? Oh my god. I could not feel more opposite. I thought that the beginning spooky stuff was too heavy-handed, as you know, with the phone bullshit.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And then I thought the ending, what? Okay, it was weird, and it was like a lot in your face, but like, it wasn't like she, girl bossed so hard that all the men became nice. She didn't go on a rampage with a machine gun and a machete and just kill all the men and wear their penises as a necklace at the end. And it's like, that's what people are making it sound like this is how this movie ended.
Yeah.
Not like the movie ends in a way that it's like, hey, toxic mess. What I think Alex Garland was going for in the end.
Yeah.
Because I'm still unsure. But to me, the ending reads as like, toxic masculinity is cyclical and will repeat itself.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Like, and you could say the same thing about like anything, like racism or whatever, right? Like it's cyclical and it may look slightly different each time, but it continues on until we break this cycle. But people make it sound like she's running around like fucking Sarah Connor and Terminator 2. Like,
yeah.
That's not what happened. Oh my God.
There was a review that had a similar thought, which you just pointed out about the cyclical nature of that. I didn't pull that one, but I did pull this one that's positive.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Positive one.
Yeah, that was like another 1 star. This one 4 stars. Men, anything with Alex Garland is worth watching, and Men is no different. Allegories and symbolism, driven by graphic violence and weird, eerie soundtrack, is a combination that will challenge some viewers and others will appreciate. I am in the latter.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, as you know, like, yeah, and as we spoke about, like, I love that eerie music, like the Annihilation one too. Sound so stuff good. Is some of my favorites. So yeah, but yeah, that was a positive one. Here we go. Let's switch back gears.
Oh no.
What is a 3-minute sequence of a man birthing himself over and over through a grotesque close-up of a vagina achieving exactly?
I just told you.
Yep. 1.5 stars.
Thinking about the vaginas.
Yeah.
It could also be a little bit of a commentary on how, like, women also contribute to this cycle of toxic masculinity. Yeah,
that was something we didn't talk about. Yeah.
No, like, I just thought of that now because
there was. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but there was a review, and I didn't pull it out, but it was like some men have the perfect genitalia. I think is what it said.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Let's see here. Another 1.5 stars. Men is Alex Garland's way of using an overt allegory to virtue signal at the expense of the audience trapped in the cinema for long enough, to seriously consider choking on their nachos to put themselves out of their misery.
Who eats just nachos at a fucking movie theater? But like, no, just no, like. Oh man, am I just, has all the weed that I've been like consuming just rotted my brain out? Like how have I got such a different reading about this movie than a lot of people?
Oh, that's part of art, everyone's got their interpretation.
Yeah, but these people got a bad interpretation.
Well, it was weird. There was like a lot of negative backlash on this movie. I got 4 reviews left that I pulled.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. So like, this was on the right path for a while, then fell off the tracks. Some striking imagery.
Right off.
Some striking imagery with strong and clear message. Unfortunately, it became predictable and the tension was lost. Disappointing coming from the mind of Ex Machina and 28 Days Later.
When did this movie become predictable?
That's why I pulled this one, because I was like, what?
Oh yeah, just another movie ending with a sequence of men giving birth to other men through the vaginas that they grow on their back. Oh, that old trope, not again.
The only thing I can think of there is maybe, like the scene where like the bird crashes through and then it's like, oh, okay, she goes to investigate and it's like, oh, it's gonna be creepy, and then something creepy is gonna happen, which of course does, but it's like, yeah, but it was unexpected what happened, because it was like the landlord came in rather than one of the creepy people, right? It's
absolutely batshit after that point.
Yeah, pretty much. But I just thought, that was funny, predictable. I was like, and the tension was lost. I'm like, okay.
Oh, so predictable watching a man cut through his own arm for fucking 27 minutes.
Because she drives out and then when the car comes back to run her over, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I don't know how anybody could expect that, but all right, this person exclusively watches strange movies. That's the only thing I can think of.
So that was 2 stars.
Okay.
Here we go. Next one. This shit is all symbolism and just vibes. Barely any discernible plot. Okay, man, Adam and Eve, the apple tree, pagan demons in the woods, guys cloning themselves, we get it. But bro, the CGI birthfuck gore fest at the ending of the movie was just pissed me off. There were some girls in the theater next to us that clearly went in thinking this was going to be some girl boss fuck up the patriarchy shit, but it's really more of fucking The Thing / Videodrome ass alien sexual predator ass shit. Man, this movie sucks.
Okay.
I like how he's
There's
reviewing.
a lot to unpack there, and I don't want to do any of it.
Oh yeah, no, I just like the part with how they're reviewing it based off of a crowd of other people, so they clearly know what they were thinking.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Well, there were women in there, so they must have thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two more. Here we go. That one was.
Okay, before you get into these last 2, I have a genuine question that I want to ask you.
Okay.
Do you think that people have a negative reaction to this movie and Alex Garland movies because they genuinely feel the things that they feel? Like, they genuinely feel that it's predictable, or that his female characters are one dimension? Or do you think that they're just not comfortable with whatever feelings the movie brings up?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it probably being both. For
That's
some
fair.
people, it's one, and for some people the other. And I think what they're talking about, aside from Caleb, I guess, or Oscar Isaacs in Ex Machina, women are the main characters, and that doesn't do well generally with, I will just, again, in generalities, general audiences, especially in our times now where everything is all hyper woke and bullshit and blah, 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 where the fact that she exists is a problem, right?
Yeah, I genuinely want to know, do you think,
well, and I think
I don't know.
I think people that would get in and have a really negative reaction to this would probably be because they see their behaviors up on the screen and they feel bad, right? Like,
yeah, and then you kind of like you transfer those feelings into like critiquing that it's, you know, predictable to watch a man birth other men through vaginas on their forehead.
Yeah.
I'm just genuinely curious, like, if people, because, you know, I've had like really big reactions to movies. I can't think of like one off the top of my head where I've had like a really big negative reaction. I feel like I can sort out feeling bad versus not actually enjoying the movie. And I just wonder if other people do not possess that skill.
Well, or this is something like that, like I've railed against for a long time, is that marketing for movies can be very deceptive. Maybe I didn't watch it, or maybe I did watch a trailer for this after I saw it, but like they can be horribly misleading, right? Like
I did watch the trailer for it. The teaser was not misleading. The longer trailer is a little bit misleading. It seemed a little more actiony.
Right, exactly. And that's because they want to, like, you know, get people in there and they're like, look at all this and it's cool. Yeah, like you said, it's like she's like Sarah Connor there, and it's like, no, she's not. She's running around and crazy shit's happening.
She's just lady. Lady who's had a hard time.
Well, and like we were joking about how, with the Lord of the Rings, because, you know, and there's a black elf, and it's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
I don't know. But to go back to your main question, it's hard to say. I mean, everyone interprets things differently. Everyone feels differently. But I could definitely see something like, I don't know. Yeah, like, especially like the people that are like, oh, all of our women have trauma and this and that. And it's like, is that what makes them interesting? And it's like, no, it's not what makes them interesting, but that's what he's depicting. Like, that's the story he's written. Like, there's other women characters that don't have that trauma. Like, you know.
Yeah. And
so
like, it's okay for your movie to be about a character dealing with trauma. Like, yeah. That's how you get story. Right?
Yeah. Well, and like, going back to that person with Dev's, they're like, we don't see their hobbies. And it's like, yeah, because she's trying to investigate a murder. Like, you don't got time to do your hobbies.
Yeah. So just to jump around.
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick, right? Everybody thinks he's like the best director in the history of forever. And like everybody likes The Shining.
Yeah.
But like you don't see Jack's hobbies.
No, you just see him writing.
Yeah, he's a writer. It's his job, right?
Yeah.
And like he's obviously dealing with something in that movie. Like why is that cool but not like when it happens to a woman?
Well, and to also,
I don't know.
No, flip side of that, you never see his wife's hobbies. She's there, true. She's raising the kid and she's making dinner, but like we don't see her in her leisure time really.
Yeah, but I do feel like people are a little bit more critical of like female characters. Like I think that you can't do any right if you can't. There's no way to write a woman character that people are just going to be like, yeah, she's cool. I feel like she's either too powerful or she's too vulnerable or she's not vulnerable enough or she doesn't have enough hobbies or she's got too many hobbies or she's just there as a love interest or nobody's interested in her romantically. Like there's always something, right? Like,
well, and it's that just brought up a thought in my head, whereas I don't think you saw it. The Predator movie, I think it was called just The Predator, the bad one before the last one, before Prey. And Olivia Munn's in that movie. And she is like a scientist. And they talked about this in the Red Letter Media Review about this, because this was something I didn't think of at the time. So she's a scientist. She gets into a situation where the Predator like leaves her alone because she's not a threat. And then later in the movie, she like grabs a gun and then is like does this like running jump onto a moving bus and then like starts like doing shotgun moves. And you're like, wait, she doesn't have like, from what we've been told, she doesn't have like that background like Natalie Portman's character where she's a soldier scientist. We're just told she is scientist, biology lady. And you're like, okay. And then all of a sudden she's doing that and you're like, it didn't stick out in my brain until like afterwards, where it's like that seems inconsistent. Is that
Oh, totally.
yeah, like
But,
where it's like, okay, if we're told she has that background, and you're like, oh, she's a military lady, cool, right?
And then if they don't have her running around with a gun, then they're gonna get the criticism that, you know, like she's
too weak, she can't handle it.
She's too weak, yeah. And
Yeah.
then if they give her the backstory of being an army scientist, then they're gonna be like, well, that's not realistic, blah 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 blah, for this reason and that reason, and
Yeah.
it's exhausting.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
You know what I'd really like? I know you have 2 more reviews, but
Sure.
and I already said that I want Alex Garland to direct Ira Levin novels.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would do such a good job with Stepford Wives. Like if you stick to the book Stepford Wives. Oh, I can see it in my mind's eye, and it would be amazing.
Nice.
And you don't get Nicole Kidman and Matthew Broderick to,
No. Yeah.
to vamp.
Well, wasn't
Okay.
that kind of what that Don't Worry Darling seemed in that kind of vein, right?
Yeah, except apparently it's real bad.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, apparently the most interesting what I've heard is the most interesting part about that movie was the stuff that was going on at the Venice Film Festival with Florence Pugh and Olivia Munn fighting.
Sure. The viral marketing part.
Yeah. And Harry Styles apparently spitting on Chris Pine.
Pine.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, here we go. We got 2 more here. This one starts off just with lol. What? Alex, my dude. I'm a lesbian and a feminist, sorry, and I have no idea what you're trying to say. Who is this for? What am I missing? I'm just so disturbed, and for what? Thanks for the laughs, though. 1 star.
I mean, I agree with, I'm not sure who he made this movie for.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he made it. I thought it was great.
Well, and this last one follows in that same vein. That's why I pulled this one here, is that this movie actually made me realize that not all movies need to exist.
Oh.
Half a star.
What? Why this movie? Why wouldn't Jackass the movie make you realize that?
Because that movie
How?
doesn't have anti-misogyny messages, Devon.
It's not even that anti-misogynistic. It's just acknowledging that misogyny exists.
Yeah.
Like, even like the end of the movie is kind of like, well, it's gonna keep going.
Yeah. Well, and even the actress, she talked, and like there was an interview with talking about like, yeah, how it's like she's like, it's not an ending where she slays the dragon or whatever. It's like she just ends up living with it in a sense, because that's what happens. She just is like there with her husband at the end. Well, her dead husband.
Yeah.
And even though it's ambiguous, I'm pretty sure she doesn't just axe him in the face.
Yeah. That's, oh my God.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of just a fun trip through some reviews of Alex Garland projects.
Jesus Christ. And people are like, Dan Brown is a genius.
Well, and what's crazy is, again, I didn't realize some of the dates on these. Like those last 2 I read you for, like, they're from yesterday. So like,
oh my God.
yeah, and like I was clicking through, like, trying to get some older ones and stuff like that. So I didn't even realize how recent those were.
Oh my God. Like,
I guess because it just came out on Prime recently, so more people have been able to see it.
yeah. Oh, Everything Everywhere All at Once is on Prime now too. I don't know if you saw that, but
Nice.
yeah.
Actually, I think I did see it when I watched Peripheral the other day.
Ah, nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, but like, okay. Like, honestly though, Dad.
Yeah.
How do people like watch Da Vinci Code and leave a review that's like 5 stars? This is a great piece of film making at its height. It's amazing and it's all true. And then they watch Men and they're like, this movie shouldn't have been made.
Well, it could be. I mean, I know maybe some people aren't getting we are older. Some people aren't getting that training on, interpreting text as much anymore or something. I don't know. And again, it's not like the movie needs like a deeper reading. It's like it's just visual metaphors. Like it's
Yeah, I mean, like I could see it not being somebody's cup of tea.
Yes.
But I still wouldn't review it the way people are reviewing it, right? Like I'd be like, beautiful film, not for me, kind of thing,
Yeah, well, and like you said, a lot of people lean into the anti-woke or what is going on, or the feminist
the woke
angle.
libs, they're coming for our men.
Yeah.
Oh no, Dan, what are you gonna do? You can't even be a white guy in America anymore.
Well, it's a good thing we're Canadian.
Not even in Canada. They're coming for your jorbs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez. It's so, oh my gosh. I don't understand how you could watch that movie and just hate it that much.
Well, and again,
think about men every day.
Well, and I've said before, like the fact that you and I have both used to work in a theater as well. We've watched a lot of movies. We do this show now, so it kind of changes your perception and like what you're watching and how you're watching things, I think. So to some people, there's a difference there in that lens, right?
That's true. I am also personally, I'm going through a funk right now where I feel like so much stuff is just created as like empty content without any sort of like thought or feeling or like passion put behind it. So when a movie like Men or Everything Everywhere All at Once pops up, it really does like have an impact on me because it doesn't feel like it's just made to fill that content requirement. Yeah,
which I was literally going to say, you're not wrong. Like, there's been articles and interviews and CEO and like stockbroker, stock shareholder calls where it's just like they are literally just trying to churn out content to get people to subscribe to their new streaming service, right?
Yeah.
Like Disney has lost money because they've been doing that. Netflix lost money for years. I think they still do, but it's like that's literally all they're doing.
Yeah, and like
said, it's really changed the industry where it's like, yeah, when someone wants to like make something, it's good.
Yeah, no, and it feels like it when you watch it too. Like I really liked Black Panther, but I have no desire to see the second Black Panther because I just feel like all Marvel is now is content for Disney Plus.
Yeah, and like you say, like, and that's not to say the people working in those projects aren't trying their best and everything, but it's like you say, it's the people behind it. The reason behind it is like so soulless. Like before, like yes, Hollywood's a business, I get it, but now it's just like you said, they're just like churn it out, put it on the streaming service, get the new thing.
Yeah, so it's the next thing, yeah, and it's just.
Yeah, like even myself personally, like I was keeping up with the Marvel shows, and now I've totally fallen behind because there were just so many, and like I'm just like, I don't know where to go now. I'm just like, geez.
I was enjoying She-Hulk, but I haven't bothered to finish it because I just got bored of watching content.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, sometimes you gotta step back, take a break, and like myself, I haven't really been watching too much. I've been only watching one show, mostly playing video games.
Nice.
So yeah, take a break.
Yeah.
But you're right.
I don't know, it's like I feel like, I mean, obviously I'm not the people reviewing it, but I feel like they should at least acknowledge that like this was a movie that was made because it was someone's like passion project, right? Like, or at least that's how it seems to me. Like it was like he had something to say and he wanted to say it and he figured out a way to say it. And not everybody understands what he's saying, but like at least it's not just gibberish for the sake of not having silence.
Well, and I think a lot of people's frustration with Men, from what I've gathered from reading these, is like you're saying, is that discounting the people that are just like, it's woke, blah, blah, blah. It's that it, like we talked about even when we did the review, and like you just said, it is that neutral line. And maybe that's angering people because they're just like, say one or the other. Like, is it good? Is it bad? And you're just like, this is what it is. Right?
Yeah, it's just acknowledging that it exists, basically.
Yeah. And it, like you said, it's not really presenting it in such a huge negative way or a positive, like, or whatever. It's just like, this is it. She's dealing with it. And that's life in a sense, right?
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's kind of, I guess for me, it becomes interesting because it's just presented as like, this is a thing,
Mm-hmm.
not like this is a bad thing or this is a good thing. This is just a thing. And it's just like, it's interesting to not have like, and aside from what all the people say, like woke, blah blah blah, but like it's not shoving anything down your throat. It's just like presenting that like this kind of,
Yeah, no, and just thinking back to like I said when we did our review of it, it's like she goes to the bar and then the guy's like, oh, I'm gonna buy you a drink, and she's like, no, it's fine, and then you just like insist, and she's like, okay, right, but it's just like, that's not presented as negative, but it's like we can infer that she just didn't want that. She was just like, I'll pay for my drink. Right?
Yeah, and like also it's interesting because she almost comes across as rude, like like as the audience, or as specifically as like a woman watching this movie, like, oh yeah, I've been in that situation and it's weird and awkward, and you don't want to be rude because you're kind of socialized to as like women are socialized to be
receptive polite. Or whatever.
Yeah, so you don't want to just come out and be like, no, fuck off, leave me alone. But at the same time, like, unless you say those words, it doesn't come across properly. Like, it's hard to interpret. Like, if you try to say it in a gentler way, it doesn't come across like you're trying to say a firm no.
Yeah.
But if you say a firm no, then it comes across as like rude, and it's hard to balance that. And sometimes you just have to look rude. Well,
and that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I like that as well, because the character who's offering is the landlord of the house, and so there's that extra dynamic there too. He's got keys to the thing and everything, right? So it's just like, so there's, like you said, there's more factors at play than just I don't want you to buy my drink. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anyway, not to continue to dissect it, but yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. And also disheartening.
Sure. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll pull. Next time we can do Everything Everywhere All at Once. We'll find out some opinions on that.
Oh my gosh. I heard somebody review that, and they said it was like the most boring movie they've ever seen. And it didn't have a point, and it was just boring.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know how you could watch that movie and come away with that reaction.
Yeah, it's like maybe they didn't watch it. they were just like saw the trailer and they're just like, I'm just gonna write a review.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe they just don't like fun.
Yeah, or they just don't like movies, Some people are like that.
They don't like movies. Some people just don't like movies.
Yeah.
Some people only like content.
Like our content.
Yeah, like our content, yeah. I was trying to think of what a good content-y movie example would be, but I can't think of one other than Marvel movies. Or
one that's good that I would recommend is Prey, like I mentioned before. That was good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I still kind of want to watch that.
It was good.
Oh, you know what I watched the other day? I know this is off topic. I rewatched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Nice.
It's still good. It's still a good movie.
Definitely still good.
It's a very silly, pointless movie, and it's excellent, and you should watch that. I watched Matrix 4 on the plane. I won't go too much into it because we might do an episode on it, but that movie was solely made for content, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to my heart break into 10,000 pieces. If you would like to, if you want to follow us on Instagram, we're Tome of Uselessness. We have a website, which is tomeofuselessness.com. We have an email where you can email us your reviews of things that I like and tell me why I'm dumb and wrong. It's tomeofuselessness@gmail.com. You could also just say hi. We would like it if you said hi.
Absolutely.
Or made requests. We may not listen to your requests, but, we like to hear from you. Is there anything else?
Stay safe and thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and rate and review us and consume all our content. Download it 100 times. Forward it to your friends and family. Listen to it on a loop forever. Don't watch Marvel shows. Just listen to us talk about them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure we've all done that. There's many things where I've watched someone talking about it and I haven't watched the thing.
Oh my God, me too. Like most of what Red Letter Media reviews. I'll watch the review. I don't necessarily watch the movie though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Goodbye.